Gaston.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. In many ways, the motion before us on the order paper today sums up the problem with the wretched Belfast Agreement. The Belfast Agreement was sold to Unionists as a settlement. We were told if you swallow the pill of murderers being released from prison, if you accept that the IRA's political wing will have a place at the heart of government forever in Northern Ireland, if you tolerate us getting rid of the RUC after they sacrificed more than 300 officers, if you give the Irish Republic a say in how Northern Ireland is run through powerful cross-border bodies, but that will be all. After that, use Unionists, well then, you can have peace. We'll have an agreed basis upon which Northern Ireland can move forward. And in case there be any doubt about the constitutional position, well, just look at Annex A, paragraph 1 of the agreement. It's there in black and white, and it states, "It is hereby declared that Northern Ireland in its entirety remains part of the United Kingdom and shall not cease to be so without the consent of the majority of the people of Northern Ireland." Members, thankfully, unionism is starting to waken up, and it's starting to waken up in increasing numbers, and worked out that the constitutional guarantee in the wretched Belfast Agreement was a con. Before Christmas, the Nationalist and Republican Alliance joined forces with Sinn Féin and the SDLP to support the union dismantling protocol. And I see here today from the contributions they're going to join forces again.
Mr Gaston, could you, 1 minute, almost 2 minutes into your speech, start to address the motion that's on the order paper, please?
I'm just getting back to the Belfast Agreement. Is that
no? Could you go back, Mr Gaston? Mr Gaston, resume your seat. You've been asked clearly. I'll repeat it more slowly. Could you please address the context of the motion on the order paper?
Mr Deputy Speaker, reading the motion, and except it's different than other people's order paper, it does note, and it talks about the Belfast Agreement, and it talks about elections in the South, and that is the basis of my take on the wretched Belfast Agreement. And just to reinforce the issue about the Belfast Agreement, what we have had last week is again the protocol and the noose tightening with the starting of the parcels border. But moving on, Mr Deputy Speaker, we today have a motion calling for the people of this part of the United Kingdom to be given the right to elect a foreign head of state. If voting rights for election for the President of the Irish Republic were involved in the Belfast Agreement, I certainly would like someone to spell that out to me here this afternoon. But of course, there isn't one, but I'll indulge the member.
I'm grateful the member gave me. Notwithstanding some of his remarks about us being a foreign head of state, he's entitled to make that statement. Obviously, I wouldn't agree with that. But could you just ask me, just for the purpose of information, can you tell me how I can go about voting for the head of the UK state? Because it's something that's not entirely clear to me. Could you advise me on how I can do that?
There's an extra minute.
Thank you very much. The member usually comes in and gives something valid to the cut and the thrust of the argument, but he's lost me on his intervention today. I see he's smiling. He thinks it was a good intervention. He's got it on the record for Hansard, but certainly moving back to the thrust of my speech. But the Belfast Agreement was never about a settlement. It was always about a process. Some sought to dress it up by calling it the peace process. But any process always has an end point. There's always an objective to the process. So what is it? Members, it's an all-Ireland. And all the Belfast Agreement is to do is to get unions to the point where there is minimal fuss. TUV have always recognised that. Some who once said the same jumped in the process train some years ago without any thought for the fact that it was a one-way trip to Dublin. But for me and my party, I certainly won't be supporting this motion before us this evening, nor the process which has led us to this place, and no doubt we'll hear more nationalist demands aided and abetted by their friends in the Alliance Party and these non-binding motions in the weeks and months